Hello everyone, good afternoon, welcome back. So in the morning session you must have gone through aptitude. Today we're going to speak specific to interview essentials, no disturbance in between, because yesterday I was talking a bit on body language. I spoke a lot on your appearance, your dress code. So today I will do specific to interview process. Now before I go forward, once again the companies that's coming in, Capgemini comes from 25th to 30th October. Those who ask questions about verbal ability, we are arranging for verbal ability trainer. On Monday what I'll do is I'll show you certain questions, certain sample questions in different categories of verbal ability, so that you get a fair idea of what kind of questions you will receive. As far as the other pattern is concerned, even that information we relate to you, we'll communicate that to you next week, where we'll tell you what are the other aspects that you can look at in terms of the kind of questions you will get, different sections that you will get. Some of them may change with the final exam because we will only look at the sample papers, but most of it would pretty much remain the same. Alright. So as far as verbal ability is concerned, like I told you, we will have a trainer coming in very soon who will train you on verbal ability specific to different companies, what kind of questions you can expect, what are the shortcuts, what are the some methods how you can approach these questions. So while we speak, I sincerely hope and expect you are working on yourself, you're working on the assignments. Just because I am not checking on sentence construction, essay, I hope you are practicing, because that is what is very, very important. But focus, primary focus right now will begin with Capgemini. So essay is a very important aspect. A lot of people have failed in essay in Capgemini, and the reason being punctuation, grammar, spelling. So I have covered all those aspects in detail. So I hope you are practicing. I have given you my email ID. So far the number of people who have sent a sample essay is 0, which means not a single person has sent me any essay. That shows, are you interested or not, are you serious or not? I am not very sure about it, because last week I gave my email ID thinking some of you will send your essay, I can correct and give feedback, but not a single person has done that. That's why I'm not going to take extra step, because you are not showing steps from your end. So when you have these opportunities, you're not making use of it. So please get serious, please pay attention to it. Alright. So moving on, today I will talk about interviews. Like I said, I'll speak about different sections in interviews, what kind of questions they will ask, how you should answer, what is an appropriate answer, and why do people succeed and why do people fail in interviews. 4 o'clock we'll take a short break. After coming back from break, we will open up the lines for interactive session where you can ask questions. Alright. So what you see here is D1, D2, D3 and D4. What do we mean by D? D means domain. So domain 1, domain 2, domain 3, domain 4, it will go in the same sequence. D1, D2, D3, D4. Now some interviews, there could be a slight change where the first question will be on D3. It's quite possible that the first question will be from the area of D2. I will explain to you what do we mean by that. Okay. So what I mean is, when we talk about D1, we are basically talking about a question where they are asking about yourself. So D1 is tell me about yourself, where they are asking self introduction, they read your resume and they ask about yourself. How should you answer D1 question? I will tell you soon. What is D2? D2 is the area where whatever answer you gave on D1, they pick one particular aspect on that answer and they ask a question D2. That becomes a D2. I will give you example to make it clear. D3 is completely unrelated to anything that they have asked. It's not related to you, it's not related to what you like or what you have done. This is completely independent question. D4 is the tricky area. This is where they're checking your confidence level, they're checking your attitude, they're checking are you nervous, and they are checking how good you are with your communication skills. Because in D4, they shuffle between D1, D2, D3, they keep going back and forth and they ask a question. Let me give you an illustration. What do I mean by these four? D1 basically means when you reach the interviewer's room, always take permission before you sit. You can ask, may I sit? Or they will tell you, you may take your seat. The moment they say you may take your seat, or if you ask, may I sit? If they say yes, always thank the person. So you reach the room, you say, good morning sir, my name is Ron, hello, hello sir, how are you, how's your day, may I sit? If they are not asking, you can ask, may I sit? It means you are confident. Otherwise they will say, please be seated, thank you sir, and you should sit. Once you sit, the questions will start. They will already have your resume should be prepared in a very systematic order. I will show that to you very soon. So they say they know what is your name on the resume. So don't repeat your name. Don't say I myself. Don't say myself. Say I am or my name is. So if they are calling you by your name, don't repeat the name. If they did not, then introduce your name. Good morning sir, my name is Ron. I am pursuing my B.S.C. final year computer science from Prism Degree College in Visakhapatnam. In my second year, you will talk about your education background. So you are pursuing final year. In my second year, what was my percentage? In first year, what was my percentage? Where did you do your schooling? Where did you do your matriculation? Your hobbies, interests, so on and so forth. I'll talk about that. So first question D1 is self introduction. Tell me more about yourself. What will you speak in more about yourself? I already explained. You will give your education background in reverse order. You will speak a little about your family background. You will speak about your strength and weakness. You will speak about your hobbies and interests. Alright. So that's D1. Now in D1, you said my hobby is reading books. Now the interviewer asks, what kind of book do you like reading and who is your favorite author? That means information that you gave on D1 is feeding a question, and that becomes D2. If you say my hobby is playing chess and I have participated in district level tournaments, and they will ask, so what is one lesson that you have learned from the game of chess? Which means the answer that you gave on D1 as per your hobby, they are asking a question. You say my weakness is I have stage fear. That's because I never got much opportunity to speak in front of people. Now D2 question, how do you think you will get rid of your stage fear? Do you think a person should not have stage fear when they join an organization? That becomes D2. Which means whatever information you are giving on D1, D2 is based on that. Which means D1 has to be elaborate. What is D3? For example, D3 they ask, if you are the Prime Minister or if you are the Chief Minister of your state, what are the 3 decisions you will take on day 1 which can improve the education system of the entire state? What are the 3 decisions you would take? Now you can think and you can respond, which means D3 is not related to D1 or D2 at all. While you are answering D3 or when you are done answering D3, suddenly one member from the panel or the person, single person himself asks, okay, what was your strength you said, can you please repeat your strength? Now it goes to D1. While you are talking about D1, sir, my strength is I am a very confident person. If I decide to do something, I put my heart and soul to it. I am a very passionate person. So that's D1. So can you give me an example how your passion helped you achieve goals in your life? That is a D2 question. When you finished answering D2, they go back. So as a chief minister, you will remove exams in school. How do you think it will help? That's a D3. So in D4 what I am doing, I am basically shuffling between D1 to D2 to D3, I am just playing around it. That's how I check two things. One is the confidence level of the candidate. Number two, I am checking whatever the person spoke 15 minutes ago, does he remember? Why am I checking that? Because usually what happens, 4 out of 10 candidates, they lie in an interview. Please remember, never lie in an interview. Lying in an interview can create a very, very big problem. And the interviewers are experts. If you are speaking the lie, they can immediately understand that you are not speaking the truth. So always be truthful. So when you speak about yourself in D1, while you are speaking about D3, they go back and ask a question on D1 to check, are you consistent with your answer? If your answer is not consistent, that means you are lying. In an interview, there are various ways of finding out if the candidate is lying or not. For example, when I interview candidates, if the candidate is immediately looking towards left, that means the person is creating an answer, imagining an answer. That's a body language cue for me. If the person is desperate to give an answer, that means the person is speaking the truth and this candidate has a lot of information which he or she wants to convey. Likewise, if a person is lying, we can immediately catch that person. I will give you an example when I was working in a corporate. So the role for the recruitment was for accounts payable. So the requirement was you can be a BCom graduate, you can be an MBA graduate, you can be a fresher or 0 to 3 years experience. So one girl came, she was a fresher, MBA, BCom, MBA specialization in finance, and second primary subject was HR related stuff, but main was finance. So there was an operations leader, operations manager who was asking questions sitting next to me, and MBA students usually have to do projects, and the project files are like a thick book, nicely binded, beautiful font, very nice paper. So while the operations manager was asking question, I was going through the entire project. So once he was done, he asked me, Ron, do you have any questions? I said, of course I have questions. Then I started asking questions. So I said, please tell me something. Did you do this project or did you pay someone to do it? And she's like, no sir, I have done it myself. I said, no, it's okay, you can tell me the truth, because I have come across a lot of candidates who don't do the project. They go to the organization wherever they're doing a project or internship for 3-4 days. Then they speak to the seniors, they go to google.com, they get the entire project report, they get help from seniors, they don't even proofread the document, they spend 500-600 rupees, they get a nice binding, that's it, project is done. They don't really learn anything, but they end up lying and they haven't even done the project. That's why I am asking, I want to be sure. She's like, no sir, I am not that kind of person sir, I have done the project myself. I said, okay, so you have done the project in BHEL, which is a government organization, so why did you pick BHEL? And she said, sir, to be honest, my father's friend works in BHEL, so it was easy for me to approach because companies usually don't allow, and I wanted to do it in a public sector company. It's not sector, it's sector, public sector company, so that's why I chose BHEL. I'm like, great, all right, ma'am, please tell me something. On chapter number 9, you have covered in detail about the working environment, because BHEL also has a factory. So chapter number 9 you have dedicated for employee safety. How do you think BHEL is different from other public sector companies where they ensure the safety and security of the employees, especially female employees, because you have also spoken about female employees in safety and security. So how do you explain how is BHEL different, because you have done a project? And her reaction was, actually sir, they have a lot of safety measures and they check on regular basis. I said yes, I know that, everybody, that's common. They check on regular basis, they have safety measures, they have audit, but I want to know how are they different, because every company does audit, every company has safety measures. Tell me 3 points, how is it different from other companies? And she's like, actually sir, I'm little nervous. I said no problem, I can spend next 1 hour, you can just recollect the points and give me the answer, because I asked you, did you do the project yourself or did you pay money? And she's like, no sir, I have done it myself. I said, then please answer your question, because you have written the entire project, so you should know what you have written, right? So please tell me how is it different, just 3 points I want. I said, make it just 2 points, give me just 2 points. And she was like, I'm sorry sir, I'm very nervous, I cannot answer. I said, please tell me, did you do the project yourself? One last time I'm asking. She said, yes sir, I have done it myself. I took the project file, I flipped it so that it can face her. I said, okay, I was just testing you ma'am. Chapter number 9 is not about safety measures. Chapter number 9 is about salary structure, different kind of salary structure they have, because in finance payroll is a part of it. So chapter 9 is not about safety and security of employees, especially female employees. It's not about work environment, it's about payroll function, salary. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry sir, I got so nervous because it's my first interview, no, so I'm getting very nervous sir, that's the reason. I said, so tell me, what system or what application does BHEL use to process payroll? What is the name of the software? Actually sir, I don't remember. I said, I'm asking you one last time again, did you do the project yourself or did you pay money? Again she said the same answer, no sir, I have done the project myself. I closed the project book, I gave it back to her. I said, I have no more questions. There is no chapter 9 in your entire project. There are only 7 chapters or 7 modules in your project. I categorically said chapter 9 about environment, working environment. You said you are confused and nervous. Then I said there is no such topic, the topic is payroll. Then you said I'm confused, that's the reason I don't remember. When the fact is there is no chapter 9 in your entire project file, there are only 7 modules, 7 chapters. So you have been lying all this while that you have done the project yourself. Obviously I rejected her, and in my organization where I was working, if we reject a candidate because the candidate was lying and hiding information, hiding facts, that person cannot come back for interview again. The reason is, if a candidate is lying to me in a 10-minute or 15-minute interview, what is the guarantee tomorrow when that person joins the organization, he will not lie to me about the work that person has done. I will give a task to her, she will say yes it's done, I will communicate to the client says the work is not done. So how can I trust a person who is lying in an interview? So never ever make this mistake. And like I said, dress code. Today before coming to the studio, I still work in an organization. We have opening for Java resources, alright, programmers. So we opened up the ad in Naukri.com. We had close to 100 people who came. Now one of the person comes and he says, sir, I have come for interview. He is wearing a nice shirt, but he is wearing a jeans and sports shoes. I said, what makes you think I will even consider your resume when you don't know how to dress yourself up? I said, you are a graduate, you have finished your engineering, haven't been taught to you that you should be in formals. I'm sorry, I'm not going to talk to you. And I sent him back, reject, immediate reject. People pay a lot of attention. If the person is not serious about his dress code for a job, how can I expect him to be serious about his job itself? So please be very careful about your overall conduct. If required, buy a pair of clothes which you will wear only for big interviews, otherwise you will not use it so that it remains nice and shiny. But don't make the mistake of breaking a dress code rule breaking any body language rule, or lying in an interview. Lying is very, very bad. Some people don't understand what is a fact and what is an exaggeration. Exaggeration means I have a glass of water, so I drank this. I go out and I say, you know what, while training the students, I drank a bucket of water. Now, does this look like a bucket from any point of view? Any angle? No, it's a glass. Exaggeration means adding more information when it's not needed. So, don't exaggerate yourself, state the facts. Another example about lying. There was this guy who came for interview. I asked about his hobbies and he said, sir, cricket is my hobby. I said, in India everybody plays cricket, but honestly speaking that is not a hobby. Everybody plays cricket, right? Hobby means when you pursue it with all your effort, you dedicate time, you pursue it and you are very serious about it. Like people who are studying plus they are in the university team, the people who are working plus they are a part of the corporate team. They go and play tournaments, they participate, they are very, very serious about it. It's not like I don't have anything, let's go play cricket. That is not a hobby. So please be very sure what is your hobby. Like my hobby is music and photography. The reason I say music is not just because I listen to music. I write about music, I blog about music, I conduct interviews with people who are musicians, I do programs about music. So there are a lot of things I do in terms of music. But listening to music is an interest. I like listening to music. Hobby is something which I am very serious about. Photography is my hobby. I shoot every day. I have a set of professional camera and lens. I go to different places, I shoot, I do professional shoot. So which means I am spending a lot of time and effort. So this guy comes for interview and I asked, what is your hobbies or interest? He's like, sir, cricket. I said, we all play cricket, but is that your hobby? Are you very serious about it? He said, yes sir, I just like cricket sir. I said, do you like cricket or do you like the cricketers? I mean, do you like the game of cricket or do you like the players who play cricket? He's like, no sir, I like the game of cricket. You ask me any question about cricket, I will answer. I said, are you sure? He's like, yes. I said, great, amazing. I said, what is the name of the wicketkeeper of Indian women's cricket team? Honestly, even I don't know the answer. But I asked. He said, what is the name of the wicketkeeper of India's women's cricket team? And his face was, I don't know sir. I said, again I ask you the same question. Do you like the game of cricket or do you like the people who play cricket? He's like, no sir, I like the game. I said, then please give me the name of the wicketkeeper or give me name of 2 fast bowlers in Indian women's cricket team. I am sure you will know only Mithali Raj because she is the most famous one. But other than that, do you know any cricketer from Indian women cricket team? He's like, no sir, I don't know. I said, what is Mahendra Singh Dhoni's wife's name? That he knows, Sakshi Dhoni. And I know about her because that day I read something in the newspaper. So he knows a cricketer's wife's name, but he doesn't know a cricketer who plays the game for the country. So when you do not know something, either you know it completely or say, I don't know. When you say, it's my passion, I really love it, then you better have more information. I conduct interviews and people give me answers which is very vague or very, very broad. What kind of music you listen to? I like listening to music. What kind of music? Good music, melodic music. Music is supposed to be melodic, otherwise it is noise. What kind of music you listen to? Soft music. There is nothing called soft music. So it can be a pop music, or you can say, I like devotional songs, I like classical music, I like film music, the songs I watch on movies, I like movie music. That is also a genre which is fine. So I like listening to music of movies, movie music I like, movie tracks, soundtracks I like. But when you give a very specific answer that I really like it obviously I will start asking more questions, or they will also start asking questions. So don't lie, don't exaggerate. Okay, so let's go back and we'll see how to approach each of these sections. So first and foremost, please tell me about yourself. Then you start. I'm going to give you the structure, then I'll give you an illustration, a structure and an example. All right. So I'm going to use my name. My name is Ron. I'm pursuing my BSc final year Computer Science from MR College in Vijayanagaram, sir. In my second year, I secured 78%. Say 78%, not 78 percentage. All right, it's percent. 78%. And my first year, I secured 72%. I've done my +2, that is intermediate, and schooling from the same city, sir, that is Vijayanagaram. I scored 73% in my +2 and 54% in my 10th. I live with my mom and dad and my sister. My father is a government servant. He works for the state government, and my mother is a housewife, and my sister is pursuing her +2 right now. Coming to my strength, I consider myself as a person who is extremely passionate. I find myself as a person who is very confident, and I am a very hardworking person, sir. The reason I'm saying this, because if I like doing something, I give all my efforts, I pay all my attention and time for that particular task, and I believe hard working is very, very important, sir. If a person has to take a journey and the destination is success, the only way he can take is hard work. Sometimes we think if we don't do hard work, we can also do smart work, but smart work is something that comes after hard work. Once I know how to do a task, I need to learn the task really well. Then I can come up with ideas how can I do it the same work with less amount of time. So I believe hard work has no substitute, sir. Even in my college projects, I have shown extreme passion. Whatever cultural activities I have participated in, I have also participated in a lot of college projects and conferences, and because of my hard work, it's just not me, sir, my entire team was hardworking and we got this success. But as anybody else, I also have weakness, sir. It's just that I haven't got much opportunity to interact with people outside my college. That's why I have stage fear, and sometimes when I meet any strangers or unknown people, I feel little nervous when I speak to them. But that is mainly because I haven't got an opportunity to meet a lot of people and interact with people whom I don't know much, sir. So when I get the opportunity to work in an organization, obviously I will learn that. So do you have any hobbies? Yes, sir. I like reading magazines and newspaper. That's because I like to keep myself updated. I like to read more about current affairs and politics, not much into movies. I like some of the sports. I like to watch, I can't call it as a hobby. I like to watch football. I like to watch Formula 1. So that keeps me occupied, and that is one way how I feel that I can de-stress myself, sir. And that's about me. So if you have any questions, please go ahead. So I spoke about my name, my college. I'm pursuing my BSc right now. I spoke about my second year graduation, second year marks, then first year. So I go in reverse order: second year, then first year. I also spoke about my the 12th score and 10th score. I spoke about that aspect. I spoke a very little brief about my family background. After that, I spoke about my strength, my weakness. But if you observe, the weakness was something which I am not saying it's my weakness. I am basically saying it's a developmental area. That is because I haven't interacted with a lot of people and I will learn. And then I spoke about my hobbies. When I spoke about my hobbies, I was very smart with my words, so that it doesn't look like I will know a lot about it. I just like watching some sports, but specific to football and Formula 1. So that's about tell me more about yourself. Why do they ask or start the interview with D1? There are two reasons for it. One, they know that the students or the candidate or anyone would be very nervous when they come for an interview, and they will be little worried about the performance. When you ask a question about themselves, it builds confidence in them. Why? Why does that happen? It happens because you know yourself really well. If you ask me about myself, I can answer without any problem. I will be fluent, I will be confident, I won't be nervous because it's about myself, right? So when they ask this question, they make the person feel more comfortable with the interview. And after that, they ask D2. They ask D2 to check whatever you spoke in D1, how much of it is really true? Are you confident about it? Do you have the conviction when you give an answer in D2? So the question continues. So you said you like watching football. Who's your favorite player? Sir, I primarily like watching English Premier League and Champions League. So my favorite player all this while has been Schweinsteiger, Bastian Schweinsteiger. He is a German striker, and he plays for a club called Bayern Munich. But I'm not a very staunch supporter of any particular club, sir. My friends do support Manchester United or Chelsea or Liverpool. I just like watching in between, but I love Formula 1, so I watch regularly, and Fernando Alonso is my favorite driver. If I speak about cricket, I can say Rahul Dravid is my favorite player and Sourav Ganguly is my favorite player. I consider I'm not Rahul Gandhi, I'm so sorry. Rahul Dravid, I'm so sorry. I've read something an hour ago and that's in my mind. So I consider Rahul Dravid as my favorite player because he is one player who has been the most disciplined sports person in our country, a player who has immense respect, and he has encouraged a lot of people, and in my opinion he is the best test batsman our country has ever had. A lot of people are Sachin Tendulkar fans, but I'm a Dravid fan, sir. What I am doing is, when I get a question, I am not limiting my answer to 1 or 2 words. I am being very elaborate with my answer. When you keep on giving answer, when you keep on talking, till they tell you stop, okay, fine, I understood. Next question. You should keep on talking and keep on building on your answer. What happens is it shows your confidence level, it shows your knowledge level. One of the most annoying aspect of an interview is when people don't understand if a question is open-ended or closed-ended. Open-ended, closed-ended. What do we mean by open-ended and closed-ended? Let me talk about closed-ended questions first. Closed-ended questions are those for which their answer is definite. Will you go home after the training? Yes. Should I go left or right? Go right. Definite answer. Are you going to attend tomorrow's session? No. Are you liking this session? Maybe. Are you watching this? On which channel are you? On which application are you watching this program? YouTube. Which means my question is elongated, lot of words, but my answer is single word or very, very specific. At the same time, open-ended questions are those where the answers are elaborate. What is your biggest ambition in your life? It cannot be a one-word answer. It has to be a sentence. You need to build on it. Why do you think confidence is your strength? How does it help you? Open-ended question. Obviously, I need to give a long answer. Sometimes my question may sound like closed-ended, but my answer has to be open-ended. For example, do you believe in hard work or smart work? Now, The question is close-ended. That means there is only one definite answer. But you should not give a closed-ended answer. They will not ask you to elaborate. You need to do it yourself. They check if you are proactive and if you are applying your common sense. Say for example, the interviewer asks me, do you think communication skills is important for progress in a career or somebody's career or in an organization? Now if it's an average candidate, yes sir, communication is very important, and he will be silent, interview will also be silent. He asked you, is communication important? He knows that the answer is yes, but you need to tell why. Don't expect the interviewer to ask, why is it important? Don't wait. Be ready with your answer. Do you believe in smart work or hard work? Sir, I believe in hard work. Why? No sir, you did not ask why, that's why I am not answering. Don't do that mistake. The questions may sound like a closed-ended question, but the answer has to be open-ended. In an interview, your answers will always be open-ended. The more you speak, the better it is. I have conducted a lot of interviews where 40% or 30% of the answers were not convincing me, but still I hired that person. I hired that person because that person spoke a lot. While he was or she was speaking, it reflected confidence, it reflected an aspiration, an aim that I want to work in a good company where I can build my career. So all this aspect is very important. So don't make the mistake of speaking just a little bit and feel that that is enough for me. It's never enough. So try to speak as much as possible, express yourself, and that is what makes you a different candidate from everybody else. Imagine if somebody comes and everybody is giving a similar answer and very short answer, it's very, very annoying. So try to elaborate on your answer. If the question may sound a closed-ended question, but your answer has to be an open-ended answer. Your answer has to be elaborate. All right. So again I go back. D1, they ask about you. Be as elaborate as possible, be as detailed as possible, speak as much as possible. They want to hear you. One very, very fundamental aspect of interview. You see, I'm just drawing a box here. I hope this is visible to all of you. Okay, otherwise I'll erase this so that it will be clearly visible. Okay. So one is a tick, one is a cross. Tick means correct, cross means incorrect. In HR interview, an answer cannot be termed as a wrong answer. If I ask a person, who is your inspiration in your life, or who is your idol, who inspires you the most? One candidate says, my father. Another candidate says, my mother. One candidate says, Swami Vivekananda. Another person says, Dr. A.P.S.D.C. Abdul Kalam. 4 candidates, 4 different answers. Technical round. In technical round, I ask a question related to hardware. How many function keys do we have on a usual typical keyboard? One person says 10, 12, 14, 16. You have F1, F2 on the keyboard, right? This is a keyboard. Yeah. So on the keyboard, how many function keys do we have on a usual keyboard? Hardware question, common sense. One guy says 10, 12, 14, 16. HR interview, one guy says inspiration, mom, dad, Dr. Kalam, Swami Vivekananda. Now let me compare these two. In reality, a keyboard like this has 12 function keys, F1 to F12, which means this particular candidate is right, these 3 are wrong, negative. You could not answer the question, wrong answer. But when I am doing an HR round, how can I say who is wrong? For one candidate, his father is his inspiration. For one person, his mother is inspiration. Dr. Kalam is an inspiration for someone. Swami Vivekananda is inspiration for someone. Can you say that one of the candidate is right and remaining are wrong? Can you say one is wrong and remaining are right? No, you cannot do that. That is what HR interview is all about. There is no right answer or wrong answer. There is nothing right or wrong in an HR interview in terms of your response, except one or two places which I will tell you soon. HR interview is all about perspective, your point of view. For example, if the interviewer says, do you support child labor? Okay. Let me ask all of you. I have 3 technicians sitting in the room right now. Sir, do you support child labor? He says no. Sir, do you support child labor? He also says no. If I am inviting 50 candidates for an interview, all of them will say, do you support child labor? No, 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 no. Everybody is no, 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 no. I will use my brain, I will use my common sense. When my turn comes, I will be little smart with my answer. Please understand one thing. If you are sitting outside the hall giving interviews, the person sitting inside the room is speaking to 50 people, asking the same questions. First 10 candidates, he will be very energetic. By the time roll number 40, 45 comes, he will also be tired. He will not have the energy to pay attention. If you give the same answer what 40 people before you have given, obviously he won't be interested. In this entire green board, you are able to focus only on this because that is different. If I take this is my entire blue shirt, this particular area is what you pay attention to because it's standing out, it's not matching. If it's matching, you will not pay attention. That means you have to be different in an interview. If I know they're going to ask a question where usually everybody will pick one side, they will say, no, I don't support child labor. I will go and say, yes, sir, I do support child labor, sir. I support child labor provided, number 1, the government puts strict rules about it. Number 2, we can ensure the rules are followed. The moment I say, yes, I support child labor, the interviewer says, oh wow, everybody said no, you are saying yes, tell me why. Now I start with my answer. Sir, I support child labor because there are a lot of families in the village areas, rural areas, where only source of income is the entire piece of land, they have to work. If they can ensure the minimum age of the child labor should be above 14 years, the kid should get health care from the employer, the kid should get education from the employer and food from the employer, then if the age is 14 and above, I think he should be allowed to work. Why am I doing this? I am doing this because it will create a sense of responsibility in that person, and that person wants to work not because he doesn't want to study. The rule is you have to study, continue your education and work to support your family and yourself. I think when you make a person work from such young age, it makes the person more responsible. That's why, sir, I would support child labor with certain conditions. I am not saying I will not support. At the same time, I am not saying I will wholeheartedly support. I will support, but with conditions. So the question was simple, do you support child labor or not? I said yes, I support, and I gave a reason. If I say no, I will give a reason. The question will be closed ended, but the answer always has to be open ended. Because in HR round, it's not about giving a right answer or wrong answer. It's about expressing yourself and giving your point of view. Alright. So D1 again, about yourself, and the companies conduct D2, D3 because we know as an interviewer, I conduct a lot of interviews in corporates, I know as a matter of fact the student will come prepared for D1. The student will rehearse D1 again and again and again, standing in front of a mirror. My name is Ravi, I am pursuing my BCom final year, I want to pursue my MBA while I am working in an organization, I will try to get a scholarship, I am hard-working person, I love playing badminton, Sachin Tendulkar is my favorite player. I know they will come prepared for that question. If you are preparing D1 about yourself, obviously D2 you will know. Now, how do I check if this person's general knowledge, general awareness is good or not? If this person is really confident or he has practiced, that's the reason he is confident and fluent. I ask a D3 question. D3 is an area where you cannot predict that what kind of questions they will ask. I always give an example to the students when I conduct training for students. I was conducting an interview. It was a small room and there was an LCD projector on the roof, ceiling, sorry. On the ceiling there was an LCD projector. I told this candidate that I am a blind person, I can't see anything. You are sitting in front of me, explain what is that black object and help me understand what is the function of the project, of the object. It's called a projector, as I know. I am blind, I can't see. Explain to me how it looks and what is the function. I used to do that. Here the person, the candidate cannot even predict I will ask such question. Nobody can. The reason we ask, interviewers usually ask a D3 area to check how quickly you can shift your thought process, how confident you are and how aware you are. Say for example, B.S.C students, Capgemini, you will be working with an IT company, lot of troubleshooting, programming. I will probably ask a question related to software, related to IT. I will ask, you must have heard about the PRISM project. You must have heard about this person by name Edward Snowden. Do you support what he did or not? Now you need to know who is Edward Snowden, right? Say for example, I am interviewing MBA students. So MBA students I will ask, you heard of Mr. Raghuram Rajan, right? The RBI governor. He is retired. He is no longer the governor of RBI. Tell me one policy which he implemented which created somewhat not so good atmosphere for the banks. Now I am checking your knowledge on economy. One policy which you think he has taken, one policy you think he has taken which created some damage to all the nationalized banks in India. What would that be in your opinion? Now I am checking your economics knowledge, because you are an MBA student and being an MBA student you are supposed to know about the economy. Or I will ask, do you know the inflation index for the last week? Inflation index gets reported every Thursday. Day before yesterday it got reported 4.31% if I am right. Last year or last to last year the inflation index was close to 9%. Right now it is 4.31%. What according to you are the three major contributors of bringing down inflation? Or if the inflation is high, why do you think it is high? Here I am asking a question to check your general awareness. Now you will think he is an MBA student, you will ask questions on economy. I am a BSc student, you will ask questions about hardware, software. I may ask a very generic questions also. I will ask, why do you think a country, a vast country like India, we need a policy from the central government which actually should be a part of a habit. For example, Swachh Bharat, it should be part of a habit. Why do you think the government needs to tell us that we should keep our surroundings clean? Easy topic, you are aware of it, you will start speaking. Or I ask about healthcare system, I ask about the education system. These are the areas in D3 where I am checking, are you able to quickly construct an answer and give me an answer? What if you don't know the answer? If you don't know the answer, say, I am so sorry sir, I don't think I would be able to answer that, I don't know about it. Or say, I am sorry, I don't know. Or say, I apologize, I don't know the answer. An apology is more appropriate than saying I am sorry, because when you say I am sorry, that means you are not responsible for it. But here you want to show that you are responsible because you don't know about it. So when they ask a question, You don't know the answer, say, sir, I apologize, I don't know the answer, sir, or answer, ma'am. Don't say madam, say ma'am. I'm sorry, I apologize, I don't know the answer. If you don't know, you don't know. If you want to think about the answer and give an answer, they finished asking the question, say, sir, just a moment, I'm trying to gather what I'm going to answer. Um, okay. So the reason I think a country like India needs government to educate us, it's because vast majority of our people do not realize what is the impact of creating litter and garbage around us. So they need certain amount of awareness, certain amount of education, and we always imitate what the other person is doing. If I go out, if an empty bus comes, and if the other person is going to the same destination where I'm going, if he doesn't board the bus, even I will think, should I board the bus or not? Because I am following certain human behavior, sir. So we learn from people. So what happened in the beginning? I just looked up a bit, I closed my eyes for like a second, I created the answer, constructed, then I started answering. If you need like 4-5 seconds, a 4 second to 5 second gap is fine. They understand you are nervous and you want to construct an answer before giving. Perfectly fine, no problem about it. But even after that, if you don't know the answer, please do apologize and say, I'm so sorry, sir, I don't think I will be able to answer that question. Whenever you're not able to answer a question, please do apologize. All right? And D4, like I said, is a shift between D1, D2, D3, where the questions are, while I am speaking about Swachh Bharat, suddenly they ask a question about my weakness, I am answering about weakness. They go to my hobby, they ask about hobby, where they are shifting from D1 to D2 to D3. That is because they want to check, can I shift my mind, can I shift my focus from one place to another while I am in a task. They want to check, can I multitask or multitask when I am doing one particular task. Alright. So we will take a break. What more I need to cover is, now after the break we will open up the lines and start the interactive session. I will give you the kind of questions they ask and what is an appropriate answer. I cannot say it's an exact answer. There cannot be an exact answer. Appropriate answer. If they ask these kind of questions, how should you answer? And what kind of answer you should completely avoid. Those are the aspects I will cover post the break. Take a quick break, have a tea, have water, go to the washroom, refresh yourself, come back and we'll start again. Alright? We'll see you soon. Welcome back everyone, welcome back. So the lines are open now. Let's have the number flashed on the screen. So as usual we have 3 numbers, 2 landline numbers, 1 toll free number. So please call and ask your question. Whatever question you have in terms of interviews, I'm going to answer. Okay. Some of your questions could be pertaining to body language or dress code, what kind of shirt, what kind of trouser, churidar, jewelry, makeup, anything that you have in terms of your doubts, you can call and get the questions answered. So open for all, whatever questions you have, feel free to call and answer. You can also ask questions on the topics that I covered in last 2 weeks as well. So don't hesitate, please call. If you're not comfortable speaking in English, you can ask the question in Telugu. I will have somebody translate it for me. Alright, but please do call and ask questions because it's meant for you to get your doubts clarified and get a clear-cut direction in terms of your learning experience. So let's continue. While we wait for the call, I want to continue. So there are some set of common questions which the interviewer would usually ask in any given interview. What these common questions are? These common questions, for example, why do you want to work in Capgemini, or why do you want to work in this organization? Whichever company you're going for the interview, they will ask why you so keen, why you interested to work for that company. They can reverse the question and ask why should we hire you? How should you answer these 2 questions? When they ask about why do you want to work for this company, you need to speak about the strength of the organization, why that organization is so very well known. You need to strength. I will continue. So if the call comes, I will stop and I will respond to that caller. So when they ask, why do you want to work for Capgemini? So now you need to speak about the company as well as yourself a little bit. So you will say, sir, Capgemini is one of the most well-known company in India as well as a very well-known company outside India as well. For me, Capgemini is an organization which builds the platform, which creates the foundation for freshers like the for the and suitable and build my career and create a perfect transition from academic career to professional career. So being a fresher, I do not have much of practical knowledge. That's why to build the practical knowledge, to build certain expertise in me, I would need to work with an organization which can help build my profile, build my experience. That's why I would want to work with a company like Capgemini. You always work with a company, not work for a company. Alright. Now when they ask why should I hire you, then you will speak about your strengths which you spoke in the beginning. So as I stated, I am a hardworking person. I believe in doing the right thing at the right time with complete dedication and attention. So being a fresher, I have very limited knowledge in terms of practical application, but my foundational knowledge in terms of my domain and my subject is strong, sir. The reason I find myself as a suitable candidate you should hire, because I can assure I will work hard, I will show utmost dedication and loyalty for the work I do. I being a strong team player, I believe in my success directly connected with the team success, which enables the organization's success. So as a person, I want to build my career, and as an organization, I will contribute to the success of the organization, and that's why I feel you should hire me. So you are speaking about your strength in a much more elaborate way. When they are asking why do you want to work for our company, you are basically talking about the organization, how the organization is known to create workforce or human capital where you transform a student to a successful professional. So both the areas you are speaking about strength. One, strength of the organization, and the other one, strength of the candidate, that is yourself. Sometimes they will ask the second question in a tricky way. Why do you think you are better than everybody else who has come for interview? Be very sure what you're going to answer. Be very smart. Never talk about others. Speak about yourself. Sir, I'm sorry, I wouldn't know the qualities and strength of other candidates and my friends from the college who are here. I cannot speak for them, sir. What I can certainly do is I can speak for myself. I consider myself as a hardworking person, a person who has an ambition to build a career in an organization which provides a platform and foundation to build on my values, build on my experience. So that's why I feel that I'm a suitable candidate. Basically, am I better than anybody else? It's up to them to judge. So don't say I am better than them. When you say I am better than them, you basically mean they are worse than you or inferior than you. They ask these tricky questions to see how do you consider others into your umbrella. So you got to be very careful not to speak about others, but speak for yourself. All right. One aspect which they will usually ask in terms of the comfort of working. Say for example, they will ask, are you okay to work in night shift because most of our clients are based out of US? Please say yes to it, because they want to see are you flexible or not. It's not necessary that you will have to work in a night shift, but they want to check are you flexible. For example, they ask, would you like to sign a bond for 2 years? Don't say yes sir, no problem sir, I will sign the bond, or don't say no sir, I will not sign the bond. It's an close-ended question, but the answer has to be open-ended. Would you be okay to sign a bond for 2 years for the organization? Yes sir, of course, I don't mind signing a bond for 2 years, provided this 2 years provides me ample learning. These 2 years gives me the experience. This 2 years transforms me as a fresher to a successful professional, because I am joining the organization to gain experience, to build on my skills, and I understand the organization is investing on me. Considering it's an investment, obviously no organization want to lose out on people. But at the same time, I also want to make sure that when I'm signing a bond, I want to see what is the value proposition is for me, sir. So I want to have an atmosphere where I can learn, where I can build on my skills, and I can transform myself. So considering all these options and possibilities, I don't mind signing a bond. Would it be okay to work in night shift? Yes sir, I don't see that as a problem. I am a young person, I am fairly healthy, and I understand most of the clients of the organization are not India based, they are either based in Europe or America. Since there is a time zone difference, obviously their daytime is our night time, and since we are a client servicing organization and I could potentially be a part of a client servicing team, obviously my work will involve interaction with client and it has to be done during their daytime, sir. So I don't see that as a challenge. So you are basically saying you are okay to work in a night shift because the client needs so, not because you feel like just doing night shift and daytime you will go watch movies or something. You are basically dedicating your time or spending your time for the benefit of the organization. Everywhere the organization comes first. Even in bond, you are saying the organization gives me the experience, it helps me build on my skills. Yes, I don't mind signing. I will give you an example of an interview which I came across. It was from TCS. They asked the candidate that you would need to sign a bond for 2 years. And the guy said, sorry sir, I don't think I will be in a position to do that. They asked, why is it so? He said, sir, if I sign a bond, tomorrow if there is a problem between me and my supervisor or my manager, I won't be able to work peacefully in the team, and how will I solve the problem? They said no, in case if you have a problem with your supervisor or manager or team leader, you can go to a higher up authority and speak to HR. Yes sir, but if I speak to HR tomorrow, my manager or team leader can create a problem for me when it comes to promotions, appraisal, salary hike and all that. So I don't think I'll be comfortable to sign a bond. They said, are you sure about it? He said, yes sir. He gave couple of more extensive reasons why he is not comfortable signing a bond. He answered that question very well. He had reasons why he feels he will not sign a bond. And guess what? He got the job. He got the job not because he has to sign a bond or he may not sign a bond. Even for bond, the companies try to gather information that are you giving 2 years of your time, or are you allocating say 2 years or 24 months, or are you committing, what is your commitment level? Are you okay to commit as a fresher? Are you okay to commit the first 2 years of your professional life with one organization? They are merely checking your commitment levels. They don't check that you will have to sign a paper agreement that will you sign or not. So when this guy was convincingly answering why he will not sign the bond, they were convinced that he is a very confident candidate, and they hired him. Like I said, there is no wrong answer or right answer. Okay, it's not that I will not sign a bond is a wrong answer, I will sign a bond is a correct answer. No, there is no right or wrong. It basically means, are you able to convince the person what is your point of view and what exactly you want to convey? That is the most important aspect. All right. So the lines are open. Please do call. Nobody has called so far. It's been like 20 minutes, sorry, 15 to 18 minutes. Whatever questions you have, I'm sure you will have a lot of questions with regards to interviews. You may have heard from your seniors or your friends any specific question they asked in the interview and you're not sure how to answer that question. So please call and ask. I'm waiting for your questions. I'm waiting for your call. All right. So let me continue meanwhile. So questions like, why do you want to work for the organization? Why should I hire you? They may ask questions like, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Basically, they are asking for your short term and medium term plan. What is your short term goal or medium term goal? What is your goal in life? For example, my goal in life is I want to travel around India and take photographs of small kids. That is my goal. That is what I want to do. Some person I know, his goal is to travel around the world without spending any money. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. That's the long term plan. We have a caller. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you, sir?
I am doing very well, ma'am. What's your question?
Sir, actually, if the interview asked us to sign a bond, sir,
Yep.
and I'm interested to do government job, also. If I get government job in between these 2 years, what should I do, sir? If I should sign a bond or else I won't.
Okay. What's your name, ma'am?
Ashwini, sir.
And where are you calling from, Ashwini?
Vizag.
Which college?
Sri Gauri Degree College.
Alright. Ashwini, your question, if I understood right, please do stay online. Basically the situation is, you go for an interview to say Capgemini or TCS, you get the job, but at the same time you are pursuing your preparation in terms of government job as well, right? While you are working with this organization, you are also trying for a government job, right?
Yes, sir.
And if you get the government job, you would have to quit this organization and join the government job. So what do you reply in an interview? Is that your question?
And also when they ask to sign a bond, can we tell this, sir, to them?
Okay. If I am smart, if they ask me, you need to sign a bond, I will not talk about my other plans. I will say, yes, I don't mind signing a bond as long as I'm learning something and it's building on my skills. Okay? But if I say that I will sign a bond and if I get a government job, I will leave, they will not give you the job. You will lose out on their opportunity. Now they may have a bond, they may not have a bond, but in an interview they always say there is a bond because they are checking the commitment level of the candidate. So Ashwini, if you have this situation, they are asking and you have another plan, please do say yes, you're okay to sign a bond. Usually what happens, when you sign a bond, it is connected with an amount of money. If you pay that money, they will give you relieving letter, but it depends from company to company. Alright?
Sir, but you told to not to say no when they ask to sign a bond, sir.
Okay. You need to understand the context of the question, Ashwini. You can say I will not sign a bond, but you need to give substantial reason. If your reason is you are trying for a government job, that means next week if this girl gets a job, she will leave. Why should I hire her? They will not give you any offer letter. You will lose out on the opportunity exactly at the interview room. But if you say I am not comfortable signing a bond because my commitment level should be gauged on my hard work and my delivery. I am not comfortable signing a bond with anyone. I can give a commitment that I will work with this organization as long as I feel it's adding to my skills. Basically, you are saying you are not comfortable signing a bond on a paper. So your answer has to be such, it has to be smart. If you say I don't want to sign a bond because I may get a government job, then they will ask, then why did you come here?
Yes, sir.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
So you need to be smart with the answer. You can say no, but when you say no, be smart with the answer.
Okay, sir.
Alright?
Sir, I have another question, sir.
Yes?
Sir, will they conduct written assignment or interview on the same day, or they will tell
No,
us?
there will be different days. First, there will be written assessment. Based on that, they will have a cutoff. Whoever scores above cutoff will qualify for the next round. So obviously, it will be two different dates. Because they have to correct the answers, they have to reconcile and tabulate those who have qualified, and they need to schedule interviews. So obviously, it will be two different dates. Alright?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Do we have another caller? Hello, good evening. Good evening, hello. Hello.
Sir?
Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
Fine, sir.
What's your name?
Sunita, sir.
Sunita, sir. Sunita, sir, where are you calling from?
Kadapa, sir.
Sunita, sir, lives in Kadapa, sir. So your name has a sir. Kadapa also has a sir. Okay.
No,
I'm asking again, what is your name?
Sunita.
Sunita, exactly. Sunita, what is your question?
Sir, there are certain comparatives like senior, junior, superior, inferior, exterior. These are what, sir?
Yes, go ahead. Senior, junior, superior, inferior, they are all comparisons.
These are verbs means.
These are comparisons. A junior is a noun. A junior can be adjective also. She is junior to me. That means adjective. The junior is going to join only after 9 p.m. Then I use that as a noun. And it's a comparison as well. Inferior, superior is an adjective as well as comparison.
Okay, sir.
Is that the only question you have?
Yes, sir.
Any other question?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Sir, I want to introduce my family members. Is this sentence is correct or not, sir?
In which context? In a general context or in an interview?
In the interview, sir.
How will you introduce your family? Are your family members coming inside the interviewer's room?
Sir, no, sir. Friends.
Friends. Okay, yes. So just now you said interview, I got confused. So when you say, when you're talking to in a social gathering, your friends, say, let me introduce my family. That is perfect sentence.
Sir, I read the sentence members of the family is correct, sir. Some sir told.
Members of the family or family also. Family obviously has members. It's a redundancy. Redundancy means repeat. Like please draw a round circle. Round is not needed. Members of the family or family, both are correct. Both are accepted. Both are appropriate.
Okay, sir. Moving on the next question.
Yes, it's not next to, it's next.
Next question.
Yes.
Seeking, permission, asking. These are polite forms, sir.
Seeking permission.
Seeking, asking, permission, suggestion, sir.
Okay.
These are polite forms. Can you explain polite forms, sir?
What forms?
Polite forms.
Polite.
Yes, sir.
Polite.
Polite.
Yeah, polite forms. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Seeking is exploring. I seek forgiveness. I seek an answer, which means I am looking for it. These are all polite forms. Interrogation is not a polite form. Asking is definitely a polite form. Requesting is also a polite form. It depends on the context of the entire sentence also. The entire sentence construction, you can use a word and make it, the usage of the sentence, you can make it polite. Can you give me an example? What do you mean by that?
What again? I'm sorry, sir.
Can you give me an example of a sentence? What exactly you mean by polite form?
I'm asking a doubt, sir.
Yeah, I know that. You asked, are these polite forms or not, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, they are.
I don't know, sir.
Yes, they are. I'm telling you, yes, they are polite forms. Any other question you have, Sunita?
Yes, sir. While we are going to the interview, what I have to carry with me, sir?
Very good question. What should I carry with me when I go for interview? Please do carry a pen for sure. Please do carry a file which has transparent folder papers so that you can put all your certificates inside. Please carry minimum 4 copies of your resume so that you have 3 copies in your folder, while 1 copy you give to the interviewer or 1 copy you need to submit when you go for the interview. Always carry extra copies of updated resume and please do sign on it. Carry all the certificates. If you want to carry a bag, if the bag is too big, keep it, don't keep it near your leg. When you enter, keep it near the door and then go inside. Some of the campus interviews, they have the rule bags are not allowed inside. Obviously you will keep it outside. But if you're going to an office for an interview, don't carry a big bag, a big handbag. Carry a small handbag where you can keep your stuff, laptop or whatever, your folder. And it's okay to carry a bag. It's okay to carry a pen. You are not okay. You should carry a pen. You should definitely carry your resume and your academic documents. All right. Lot of girls have the habit of carrying this particular thing, a handkerchief. Right? Are you still there, Sunita?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, lot of students carry the handkerchief and they keep it in the hand throughout. So, you have a pen on the right hand or probably your folder on the right hand. You have your handkerchief on the left. You keep your folder on the table, but you still hold the handkerchief on the left hand. That is wrong. When you are speaking to someone, your hand should be free so that you can use your hands as gestures. So, don't hold anything, especially a handkerchief, don't keep it in your hand while you are talking to an interviewer. It's a sign of nervousness. It means you are nervous, that's why you are holding on to something. Alright?
Yes, sir.
Any other question you have?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Actually, upcoming companies, Tech Mahindra, Capgemini, to know the pattern of how many questions coming from each subject, sir. We know.
Okay.
That's it, sir.
You said you know about the pattern?
Yes, sir. You know about the pattern.
You are asking me if I know. I'm not understanding what you're saying. Are you saying That you know the pattern, you are
We
asking
don't
me
know,
the
sir.
pattern.
We don't know the pattern.
We don't know. It's not pattern, it's pattern.
Pattern, sir.
Not pattern, pattern.
Pattern.
Yeah, exactly, pattern. Very good. Uh, I do not know the exact pattern. I have requested for some sample patterns. Next week, I will show you the pattern for most of the companies. Whatever I get, I will show you the pattern.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Any last question?
No more, sir.
No more. All right. Thank you, Sunita. I hope the session is helpful to you. Okay, we have another caller. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Good, sir. I'm doing well, sir.
What's your name, ma'am?
This is Divya, sir, from Tamil Nadu College, Palkonda.
This is Divya or I am Divya?
Sorry, sir. I am Divya.
Very good. Where are you calling from?
Tamil Nadu College, Palkonda, sir.
Where is it located, ma'am?
Srikakulam.
Srikakulam. Okay, that's a coastal area, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. What is your question, ma'am?
Sir, in interviews, some interviews to sales candidates, how much salary you expected this company?
Okay.
What I am answered it.
Okay, all right. I will surely answer this question, but I will not give an example now because I will tell this to everyone how to answer this question. But before I answer, Divya, what is the salary you are expecting in Capgemini?
Sir, I don't know, sir.
Okay, imagine this is a telephonic interview. Okay, I am the HR manager.
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay, so Miss Divya, thank you for coming for the interview. So I know you are very interested in working for Capgemini. What is the salary you are expecting, ma'am?
Sir, I'm expecting my. Sir, I speak in Telugu.
No, it's okay. Okay, speak in Telugu, no problem.
అంటే నా యొక్క ఎబిలిటీ బట్టి నేను శాలరీని ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేస్తాను సార్.
Okay, that means I'm expecting the salary as per my ability.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you answer the same question in English now, Divya? Can you try?
Yes, sir. I will try my level best.
Okay, go ahead. Divya, what is the salary you're expecting?
I expected salary. Depends upon my abilities.
Depends upon my abilities. What you can say is, okay, rule is, Divya asked a very good question. If they ask what is the salary you're expecting, what should we answer? The rule is never quote an amount. Never say 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. Never ever quote an amount. Instead, what you should say is, sir, being a fresher, I do not have practical knowledge or practical application skills. Being a fresher, I am looking for a job where I can build my career and build experience. Hence, I cannot ask for a specific amount. I will accept whatever is the compensation or salary as per my abilities and my performance in the interview. I am sure as an organization, Capgemini has a salary structure which is designed for freshers. I would accept that. Hence, I cannot quote a specific number. All right. So never say I want this much amount. Never ever make that mistake as a fresher. So instead of saying it depends on my ability, say it should, sir, I cannot give an amount. As per my ability and my performance, as well as the salary structure of the organization for the freshers, I would accept the salary structure. Because my primary motive, my priority right now is to work with an organization where I can build my skills, where I can build my experience. All right. She has dropped off. All right. Do we have more callers? Okay, more calls coming in. Okay, we have a caller. Good evening. Good evening.
Because my primary motive, my priority right now,
Sir, can you mute your television, please?
where I can build my skills, where I can build my experience.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Please ask your question. Please reduce the volume of your TV or system and please ask your question.
Okay, sir. I am Vijay, sir, from Srikakulam.
Yes, Vijay.
Sir, if interviewer asks, tell me you have seen recently a movie or school life or college life, how can you answer? Sir? How can I answer?
If they ask you to narrate about a movie.
Recently seen movie. Sir, my friend said that's a TCS company. He faced interview, sir.
Okay.
He had faced that type of questions, sir.
Yeah. So usually Vijay, they ask these kind of questions. Do you like watching movies? Yes. Can you tell me about the recent movie that you saw? So you can talk about a movie and you need to narrate the story. Narrate the story means you don't get overly excited that this fighting scene was there, jumping scene was there. No. They want you to narrate a movie to see your ability to convey a message, your ability to summarize a story of a movie. Say for example, I saw, if somebody asked me, did you see any movie recently? Yes, I did see a movie recently. Can you narrate the story? I will say, yes, I recently saw a movie which is about how technology we think is making us smarter, but the reality is technology is making us lazier. The movie is about one guy, the main character. Don't say hero, okay? Don't say hero, heroine, villain. Say the main character, the lead character. So the lead character in the movie invents a phone which helps him communicate with others even though when he is not interested to talk to anyone. The movie talks about how technology has taken over human behavior and human emotions as well. The story is about how he loses his contact and relationship with his father and mother because he is all the time busy with his phone. And in the end, they show that end of the day, it's the relationship, it's the people who matters the most. Technology should help us better our lives, but not to completely depend on it. So what I did, a 2.5 hour movie I have summarized in a sentence, and I am also telling what did I learn from the movie. So they ask you to narrate a movie to see are you able to summarize and convey a message to someone. Plus, are you able to build a good sentence? Is your fluency good? Is your vocabulary good? Are you able to construct and sustain for 2 minutes or 3 minutes? If you love watching movies, it should be very easy for you to narrate a story. Some people don't usually watch movies. I usually don't watch movies. Very rarely I watch. But when I watch, I remember so that I can talk about it. Alright. So that was the last caller for today. I hope this session was helpful. Monday what I will do, I will try to gather some sample papers and show you. We will continue with our interview sessions. I will deal with more questions like if you are the CEO of the company, what will you do? If you don't get this job, what will you do? What is the first thing you will do if you get this job? If your friend gets this job and you don't, what will happen? All these situation based questions I will talk about. Plus, 2 important questions I will talk about. What is the salary you are expecting? Number 2, do you have any questions for me? Companies do ask, do you have any questions for me? Why is it important? Why do they ask? And what kind of question you should ask? Alright. So I'll see you again on Monday. Tomorrow we don't have any session. So take rest. It's important you also de-stress, relax a little bit, go out, watch a movie, meet your friends. But please do pay attention to your own learning. Practice as much as possible. Alright. Happy weekend everyone. Have a great day and great Sunday. I'll see you on Monday afternoon. Thank you.